So today's challenge is the rear engine mount rubber. I already have aftermarket Hasport engine mounts, and the one on the back, it's very difficult to see, but down the bottom around where my finger is, there is a crack in the rubber already, so we know this one has a problem. There are a number of bolts to undo. On this side is a welded nut, so we withdraw the bolt from the other side. There is a bolt just to the right there, which goes through from this side to the other side of the what's called the T bracket, which is this this, not surprisingly, T-shaped bracket, which goes across here and then down. So and then on the other side, let's just go around quickly, there is, well, I should say there are two more bolts. I'm just trying to get the light in the right way. There we go. On the left you can just see the two bolts, and those will come out from this side. These bolt through into the engine and gearbox. And then we have this one here, which is the one that's got the welded nut on the other side, and we will just extract it this way. The two nice bolts on this side, the ones with the 19mm heads on them, these did not play nice. The top one actually required a large breaker bar. I had to get the car up on up in the air so I could get the breaker bar on it. But the other ones have played reasonably nice. So let's see how this goes. I'm hoping to not have to remove the bracket itself, the Hasport, but I may have to. Now my setup is a bit different. This is a JDM vehicle. I'm in Thailand, and compared to Europe and the US, we have quite a lot of differences with what you will find in this area of the car. So we don't tend to do the swap for the water hoses going into the throttle body or going into the IAC. We don't have heater matrix hoses for those colder days, because we don't have many cold days, and when we do, we just wrap up, and we don't need to have a heater inside the car. This has had a cable tuck. As you can see, there's some very nice black goop down there, which is the entry point into the firewall. And although it doesn't look very pretty, it does actually keep the engine bay nice and clear. So alright, obviously this is a right-hand drive car, and you can see there's not a lot going on. I've only had to remove the air intake, and obviously we've got AC, so, and although currently I'm running on electric power steering, I haven't removed and deleted the pump and the hoses yet. So you should be able to see here that there's quite reasonable access to the rear engine mount itself. So it's very different challenges for everybody when it comes to doing this work. What I've done with the cables, I've used a couple of cable ties around the strut brace just to lift up some of the wires out of the way without putting stress on them. And I've actually now got clear access to the rear engine mount itself, so I'm going to clear that out. There's lots of rubber debris in there, and following that, the next challenge will be to insert the bushes and the pin. There are a number of different ways of doing it. One of them is to try and push the pin all the way through. Another way to do it is to get the pin started on both of the bushes and then press the bushes in. That quite often is the easiest way. Obviously I can't get a press in there, but I think I'll probably have to get a G-clamp around it if I can, and try to do it that way. I mean, you can try and you know, lubricate everything up and make it smooth, but once the bushes go into the bracket, it's going to start tightening up on the pin. So you kind of got a bit of a chicken and egg, and there are various ways to do it. So let's see how I get on. So here are the T-bracket bolts all out. So you have the two 19mm head ones that are on the engine side, and the 17mm headed bolt which is on the gearbox side. Then we have the bolt that goes through the engine mount itself, the house port, which is on the engine side as well. And as we can see, these bushes are absolutely shot. Now the challenge will be getting the new rubbers in and inserting this center pin just by moving the T-bracket out of the way, which is not guaranteed. So let's see how we get on. Okay, so I currently have both of the bushes lined up on either side of the bracket, and the pin is just inserted into each of the bushes. So now is the time to press it together. What I've done here is I've got a couple of puller discs. I've got one on the other side, one on this side. They're about the same size as the bush, and that means I can just slowly draw the bushes in now without too much effort. It's a lot of effort for a human to push the bush in, but it's not a lot of effort for a nice long bolt and these discs. Large washers would do the job too, but large washers are not that common, so this is a good substitute. Okay, she's in. You know you're in when you know, you start turning the nut on that long bolt, and it'll just be a gentle pressure as the bushes get drawn into the mount, and you know when you're done, you feel like you've come up against a hard stop. And this is what was used. So very simple, it's just two large discs really, with a long bolt all the way through. Handy to have these tools around.